Welcome to Training with People for People Community. Together, we're making a real difference in the world, and now you're a vital part of that change. Let's get started on this incredible journey together.
Hello, and welcome to the Development Department Networking Leader Training. I am Adriana Martinez. I am one of the executive directors on the Development Department, and with me today is Tammy Castillo, your other executive director. Hi, Tammy. Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone.
We are so excited to have you here. Let's jump in.
Here we go. We are building something bigger together. And this is so true. It is so exciting and so much bigger than you think. We are building a thriving community with businesses and community members. And we really are about creating relationships through connection, through connecting with one another. We are all about strengthening our supply chain so that we have everything we need. If times get tough, we want to make sure that each one of us has a place to shop within our community. And that can be when the economy gets tough, or also if there is, for example, a natural disaster. So we're all about connecting our community members and our business members together to strengthen our supply chain. And guess what? We do all of this by working together. Each one of us pitching in a little to come together to add up to a lot. Together, we're creating a stable economy for our community that adds up for a brighter, better future for all of us.
Yes, so beautifully said, Tammy. That is fantastic. And a piece of that whole puzzle, that whole big picture, is the development department. And that is the department that you are a part of watching this. So the development department is established after the connections department has been established. So now we're setting up the development department and getting into the weeds. And you have been chosen to participate as a networking leader. So that's why you're here. But I want to touch really quickly on why we even have the development department. The development department is here because we want to foster those meaningful connections, that meaningful relationship that Tammy was talking about, to really drive the growth of businesses, of ideas, and those individuals. We really want to focus on creating a collaborative space where that innovation and that progress thrives. So it's all about amplifying each other's voices and our messages, and making sure that we have those connections and that meaningful relationship built in. And we do that through 4 different meetings. And these are the development department or development meetings. We have networking, workshop, community news, and podcasts, but we will touch on all of those over the course of you being here. So don't worry if you don't know what all of those mean yet. We will get into it. So let's jump into the next slide.
So, how are we organized to lead here in the development department? Well, we have a super mentor, and that super mentor is going to help support the community. They're going to do some things like help with the pre meetings. There's going to be a lot of support that you will see from the super mentor. There's also a mentor that is helping that community manager. So, a lot of support through that super mentor and mentor. The community manager is the one that has really gotten this all kicked off. They chose 2 development directors, and you, as a networking leader, were reached out. Someone touched base with you and brought you and said, "Hey, I would love to have you lead with me here in the development department." And that was more than likely your development director. And so each one of those development directors, we have a development director 1 and a development director 2, has 4 leaders that they're responsible to support. There's a networking leader 1, a workshop leader 1, a community news leader 1, and a podcast leader 1. And that development director 2 has the exact same set of leaders on that second side. So altogether, there are those 8 leadership roles that the 2 development directors support. So as a networking leader, you're either here as networking leader 1, networking leader 2, and you'll also start to see some networking leader trainees. We want to continue to fill these departments, continue to grow these departments because you're going to also see expansion, and we prepare for that right off the bat. So this is how we are organized to lead. Now, stay tuned because there's so much more. Hang with us. You're going to learn so many great things about your role and what to do as a networking leader 1 or networking leader 2.
Yes. And before we dive into what that means specific to you, we got to understand the full structure. The development meetings all follow a specific structure. And that is, we have development meetings that are 30 minutes, and we stay within that 30 minutes to respect our own time and the time of the members who are attending. 30 minutes is kind of like our signature thing. It's always going to be those 30 minutes. And we follow a 4-week rotating cycle of those networking workshop, community news, and podcast development meetings. And then I want to touch really quickly on these leader meetings. Leader meetings are so valuable. They are just as valuable as your actual development meeting. So what are leader meetings? Leader meetings are meetings that happen 15 minutes before each of the development meetings. That is just where all the leaders, they show up, they're present, they're prepared. And that is where your director will check in and make sure that the roles for this week are good to go. And then also for next week, so that we're always staying prepared and we're always staying informed. We'll touch a little bit about attendance and how to handle, maybe you have to be absent or something like that because life happens. So we will address that in the future slides. But for right now, that is the leader meeting. We address any last minute changes or any needs. It's really valuable to show up at those leader meetings so that you don't miss anything in this meeting or even just next week's meeting. And I do want to add this little note here is we don't have regular meetings during holiday weeks, during event weeks, or national conference weeks. We have a calendar that you will have access to that has all of the weeks that you know, so that you know when a holiday week is, when an event week is, and when the national conference is happening. So you don't have to guesstimate. You don't have to be like, when is that happening? You'll have a calendar with those so you know that no regular meetings happen during those weeks. Tammy, over to you.
Fantastic. So now that you know the overall structure of the development department, let's talk about your networking meetings. Now remember, you're going to go to all 4 development meetings, but the networking meetings, those are your responsibility. So what is that going to look like? Well, the networking meetings really are a super cool, special space to connect, share, and build meaningful relationships. This is not your average, typical networking event. It's very different, not just another networking group. Here at People for People, we focus on collaboration, on support, those relationships, and really amplifying each other's messages so that we can create a real impact. It's different here, and this is so cool. You are a part of something very special. Now, here's how networking works. Leader 1, you're going to ask members to drop their social media link in the chat. And actually, what's going to happen, you're going to ask them to drop a post that they have created, preferably within an hour of the meeting. And there's some magic around this and why we're going to ask them to do that. So you're going to do that and then call on the members in the order of the chat, the order that they've been listed in chat. And then we're going to keep our introductions to 60 seconds or less. And you're going to acknowledge each participant once they've been introduced. Now, leader 2 is going to screen share each member's post as they speak, ensuring that all the posts, all the links are displayed so that we can all, everybody who's there, can participate for engagement. So, what does all that mean? Why are we putting a post in there? Let's talk about that a little bit more in more detail. Each one of our 4 meetings, we have a growth activity, another thing that makes our meetings special and different. So for networking, members get to engage in with these posts that we've brought, that whoever puts them into the chat, by commenting 5 words or more. Whenever these posts have been created within an hour of the meeting, the algorithm sees that, oh my goodness, these are getting a lot of comments, quality comments, more than 5 words. And the algorithm thinks, wow, this particular post must be pretty valuable. It must have some valuable content. And so it starts helping share that post out. So it boosts the visibility. So this growth activity is intentionally designed to increase the visibility and outreach of that post. And it's very, very, very simple, but it's very, very valuable and effective. Now, if time allows in the networking meeting, 1 to 3 members get to have about 3 minutes. Sometimes it's a little longer if it's just one. So it could be up to 5 minutes to highlight their particular message. So this whole 30 minutes, I hope you get to see the meeting you're leading is jam packed with value, and it is a unique, fantastic experience. And we are so excited for you to get trained and you're in the department and start leading these meetings.
Yes. So are you ready to lead? Oh my gosh, this checklist is going to tell you if you are ready to lead and what you need to do to make sure that you are prepared. So first things first, you want to complete that educator and your networking leader training, which is this. So you are on the right track, my friend. Congratulations. Next thing you want to do is you want to review the handbook. Now that handbook, you'll get access to that after you complete this training. So make sure that you review that, really pay attention to it. And then, of course, practice, practice, practice. You know, if you're a networking leader too, make sure you know how to share your screen on Zoom. We do have a resource for that that is in the handbook. Things like that. Practice your speech, practice your script, things like that. And then, of course, attend a full 4-week cycle of meetings. So you can do that through a development department that is already up and running. They've already been established and they've been running these meetings. That is going to be the best place to do that. And then join the Q&A Facebook group. So that group you will see inside of the handbook, but you do need to request to join that Q&A group. So I do want to say that, but you will find the link inside of the handbook. There's a whole little section that talks about where to go to ask your questions. So those are the things that you need to complete to prepare to lead. And then once you're ready to lead. You've got it all done. So let's jump into what's next.
Now you're prepared to lead. You've done your training. What can you expect once you have completed your training? Well, get ready because this is so exciting. Once you've completed your training, you will be eligible to earn profit points once you follow the 1+4 model. So check out all the details in the development handbook because you're going to want to earn profit points. So check that out. Full details in the development handbook. You also have the opportunity to lead, teach, present, all the things in the development department, all the meetings you now have opportunity and access to. Once you're trained, all those doors are opened up to you. Your director is available to you to answer all your basic questions. Anything related to your development department specifically. So for example, if you need to know like what time and day are your meetings, if you want to know specifically who's presenting the workshop, If you need to know, I'm not really sure. Am I leader one? Am I leader two? All of those very department specific questions, your director is your go to person. Now, there's going to be some more detailed questions. We have you covered as well. That Q&A Facebook group, that is your go-to for those questions. There's some very specific it's going to guide you on instructions, how to enter your questions, how to get those questions answered, when to expect an answer. We have your back. So all of your questions, you have a place to go for support once you've completed training, because now you are ready to lead. And last but not least, you will get full access to your back office. You'll have access to the schedule for these meetings, the calendar that Adriana said, to find out when things are, your community, everything going on in your community, exclusive business list. So many things are there in your back office. So once you complete your training, once you're ready to lead, all of these things become available to you. So I hope that gets you excited and lets you know what to expect once you complete your training.
Yes, and that is not it. We have you covered in all aspects. And you, as a networking leader, one or two, or just training, we have resources for you. Okay. So they are located inside of the development handbook, and you'll find them in section 3 that's titled Understanding Your Role. And then that subsection titled Networking Leaders Training and Resources, as you can see here. So these are the resources that we have for you. There are 4. And I just want to touch on them really quick. The main one, well, they're all very, very important. I will say that. But the top one that we have here is the meeting agenda and script. So you can figure out what the flow of the meeting looks like. But on that one, you'll see the flow. That's the agenda on how it's broken down. Keep scrolling. Make sure you scroll down, because then we have the script that you're going to read. So as networking leader 1 or networking leader 2, you have words to say. You don't have to come up off the top of your head on what you want to say. We have a script for you to read. It's easy to follow, and you're able to see how that meeting is going to play out. And then we have the networking leader checklist. This one is super helpful to help you stay on track and make sure that nothing falls through the cracks as a networking leader. So make sure you review that, and you can go through every time you're leading this meeting, go through and make sure you have everything set. And then I will also mention that networking, you do have a social media post and caption that goes into your community's specific Facebook group. And this social media post is there to encourage community members to attend the upcoming networking meeting and make sure that they're prepared. And here's the fun thing. Just make sure you check it out, because that is part of your role. But I do want to say, you don't have to create the post. You don't have to write the caption. It is already done for you. All you need to do is just put it inside of that post, and then you're good to go. You can upload it. So make sure you check that out. It's going to be super helpful. You can read through it, and that way you know what it's all about. And then, of course, we'll have the training video there in the resource section. And this is just to revisit anything that we've discussed today that you want to refresh yourself on. And you can go back to it anytime, because it will be in the handbook. So that's what I've got for you for resources. Remember, we are always here for you.
Awesome. So training, you've got your resources. So let's chat just a little bit about leading with commitment. So kind of those roles, responsibilities, that what is required to lead with commitment. So we are going to ask and expect that you have 75% attendance at all 4 development department meetings. So not just your networking meeting. We are a team in the development department. And so you will be expected to be at all 4 meetings 75% of the time. Now, Ms. Adriana talked about how valuable it applies to those leader meetings as well. There's so much magic that happens in that 15 minutes before the development department meetings. So 75% attendance at development department meetings and the 4 leader meetings. Now, What about those 25% when you just can't be there? That's okay. However, there is a process to ensure that you have backup when you need to be out. So we're going to ask that you reach out to the other leaders on the team. Now, not your other networking leader because they already have a role. They're going to be doing the other networking leader activities. So the other leaders on the team, the other workshop leaders or the other podcast leaders, and saying, hey guys, I need to be out. Can someone cover me for this day? And get backup. Now, with that being said, we're also going to ask that when someone says, hey, yeah, I got you, I will back up, that you also ensure that they have the resources or you direct them into the hammock, that they know what to do. That if you're leader one, you say, hey, my role is leader one, and here's what I need you to do. Help guide them to be able to fill in effectively for you while you're out. And keep your leaders informed. Let them know you're going to be out and that you got backup. Keep them in the loop anytime you need to be out. And preparing to lead with commitment goes back to that preparing to lead by practicing your role. I heard Adriana say, practice, practice, practice. I think she said it like 3 times. This is such an important thing. There's an agenda, there's a script, there's resources, but looking at them like 5 minutes before the meeting really will not effectively prepare you. You really are going to need to look at those beforehand and practice. Everyone's a little bit different. Some you may need a little bit more, a little bit less. So you lead yourself in and preparing the amount of time that is appropriate for you. All the full details are available for you in the handbook, and we are so excited to see you step in to your networking leader role with commitment.
Yes, so excited. We also want you to stay connected. We want you to lead effectively and to grow with us. Remember, we're a community. So there are a few ways to stay connected. I'll go through them now. The first is those weekly leader meetings and the weekly development meetings. Those are going to be the best place to stay connected. And then, of course, we have this organization-wide update meeting, which is called the All Leader Meeting. That's where all of the leaders, networking leaders, workshop, podcast, all of them, directors, everybody from this organization come together. And currently they're being held on Tuesdays at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. They're run by Jennifer. And like I said, they're updates organization-wide. So we can always stay connected and informed with what is happening inside of People for People. And then the third place to stay connected is that Facebook Q&A group. That is where we go. We post updates of what's happening if we're updating resources or anything like that regarding the development department. That is the place where you can stay up to date with all of the newest information and things that are going on inside of this department. You will find all the details on the schedules of the leader and development meetings inside of the back office and all of these other meetings as well. So you have access to that and you're able to stay connected effectively. I'm so excited to have you here. We both are. All of us, we're so excited to have you here.
So a few things. You've learned so many great things today. So a few things that we want to make sure you don't forget. Complete all the training for your role. The training is so valuable and so important. So don't forget to complete your training. This is part of that. So yay, give yourself a big pat on the back. Next, we want to make sure that if you want to expand as a mentor, grow in other departments, if there are other things that you want to do and expand and grow into, please talk to your director. We are here to support you and help you grow into those roles that you are seeking to grow into. Now, the goal for everyone, every single one of us, is the 1+4 model, building together for success. So please don't forget the 1+4. We want to make sure that you always, always, always reference back to your handbook for guidance on all things development before you go to your director, before you go to that Q&A handbook or that Q&A Facebook group. Check out your handbook. See if what you need, see if it's there. And then please don't forget, we are the difference. You are the difference that we are looking for with people for people.
Thank you so, 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 so much for your leadership and making a difference with people for people. We are excited for you to get started in your role as networking leader, and we'll see you inside.